Hi guys. Hi everyone. Welcome to today's Study in the UK Life Clinic. My name is Safurat from Team Consultancy, and today we'll be talking about um, students who want to travel to the UK to study and what is expected of them and how to go about it. And here at Team Consultancy, we are here to help all students who wants to study in the UK to find a very soft landing in, yes, in going to the UK to study. So today, first of all, I would like us to talk about the visa processing. Visa processing, how to go about visa processing, what is expected of each student when you are processing your visa, and how to go about it. What are the documents you need to put to put together for submission before you can get your visa approved. Now, yes, here at Team Consultancy, our services are completely free. We do not charge for admission processing. We cover for schools to the UK only. So if your intention is to study in the UK and you'll be looking for the right, agency to help you put your document together and help you through the whole process seamlessly, you have find the right plug for yourself. And that's where our services come in. We do not charge any fee to help students get their admission to study in the UK. And also your visa application process is completely free. I am not referring to the visa fee. I'm not saying Team Consultancy pays for the visa. I'm saying the whole process of putting your document together and submitting your document to the embassy is completely free, right? And also, I would like to mention that we do not sponsor or any fully funded scholarship for students, whether undergraduate, master's program, or MRes or PhD. We do not have any fully funded scholarship plan at the moment. So our services are strictly meant for students who are self-funded. So if you want to travel to the UK and you have your funds available by yourself, or maybe you have a third party who happens to be like your direct sponsor. In this case, we have like your spouse or your parent whom you bear the same surname, together. So these are the closest sponsors that we advise that you can put forward for your application process. Aside this, we do not support any fully funded scholarship. So thank you once again for joining today's live session. I remain your host. My name is Safurat, and I will be discussing today about UK visa application process, what is required from you as a student, and how to go about this process seamlessly with our team here on ground to guide you for free. Now, when we hear about the visa, a lot of people are a bit confused. They don't even know what it entails to get visa. You just see the visa stamped on your passport, or maybe your friend's passport, or your relative who have traveled to the UK, and you are wondering, how is this done? Now, the essence of having this live clinic is to clear your doubts and make sure that you are well informed so that you can also prepare yourself ahead of time when planning for your study. And I will say here that our services are completely for study routes. It does not include work visa at the moment. So if your dream is to study in the UK, here at Team Consultancy, we are here to help you actualize that dream, seamlessly. So now, what is this visa processing about? What are the documents that you need when processing your visa? And how do you go about meeting all the visa requirements so that you can, reduce or avoid any visa rejection at the end of the day? One, we are going to look at, start from the your tuition fee, the balance. So as a student, when you're applying for visa, you know that the first thing to get is your offer letter. Now, this offer letter has to do with the unconditional offer letter. Conditional offer letter is the one you get. If there are pending documents requested by the school, maybe additional WAEC results, or maybe WAEC scratch card or updated CV, whatever pending document the school feels like asking from you will be stated on your conditional offer letter. Now, once you respond to the school, you give them the pending documents as also making your tuition deposit, because paying your tuition deposit is part of the condition, and that is why you have the conditional offer letter. So as soon as you pay your tuition deposit, it ranges from 3,000 up to 10,000 pounds, depending on the course that you are going for. So as stated on your offer, as soon as you pay your deposit, you have some balance left. Let's give a example. Your tuition fee might be like 15,000 pounds and your deposit might be 5,000. Now you have paid 5,000 deposit and then you have 10,000 left, right? Now, once you pay your 5,000 deposit, if that is what your tuition deposit is, like I said, it ranges from 3,000 up to 10,000, depending on the course you are going for. And I'm giving example using 15,000 as, just a base. 5,000 could be your deposit and the 10,000 balance you have to show in your POF. Right? Now, once you pay the 5,000 deposit, you have met the condition as stated by the school on your conditional offer letter. Now, once you do that, the school will then issue you your unconditional offer letter. It means you have met all the requirements. The next step is that you upload your bank statement on your CAS Shield. So that's part of the condition that the school needs to see before they can issue the CAS, which is confirmation of acceptance of studies. So the school needs to know that you have the balance of your school fees in your bank statement, including your living expenses. So you're adding the balance of your school fees plus your 9 months living expenses. So for international students, you are expected to provide your 9 months living expenses. And then we have two different, the living expenses could be from schools within London. It could be from schools outside London. Now, when we are looking at schools outside London, we see that tuition fee is, the living expenses per month is around 1,529 per month. So it's around 1,529 per month. That's if your school is within London. So you're going to multiply 1,529 by 9 months. And that gives you about 13,769 pounds. So you're adding 13,769 pounds to your tuition fee balance. You convert that in Naira. That is what you will show in your living. That's what you're going to show as your POF, which is your proof of fund. That's a combination of your school fees balance plus your 9 months living expenses. That's for schools within London. Now, schools outside London, you are expected to pay 10,539. That's 1 month is 1,171 multiplied by 9. So that's like 10,539 pounds per month. So this 10,000 is for schools outside London. So you add this 10,000 plus, including your tuition fee balance, you do the converts to Naira and make sure that balance is in your account statement. Now, that account statement, you are supposed to run a POF of at least 28 days. So if you have the bulk of money ready in your account, it's just printing out the account statement and uploading that statement on the CAS Shield. Now, once you upload that on the CAS Shield, the school will then confirm that you have the money in your bank. Then they issue your CAS. Once you get your CAS, you can now apply for your visa. Now, mind you, when you're submitting your application for visa, there is a new visa processing time for students. Ideally, it is now meant to be 2 months. You are supposed to submit your visa application 2 months before your resumption date. So we can do a calculation here together. Students who are going for September intake, the right time to start their POF, which is their proof of funds, is from next month, which is the month of May. So if you start early in the month of May, it's supposed to run for 28 days in your account, and then you print out your bank statement, share with the school, they confirm the money is in your account, you have their balance, which is your school fees balance, you have your living expenses there, and they will now issue your CAS for your visa. Now remember, this bank statement you have submitted is the same thing that the embassy will need to confirm that you have the money there in your account. And some other documents. Part of the other document I mentioned are your unconditional offer letter, and that you have paid your school fees, because it will be stated there that you have paid. A letter from the school is saying that you have paid some certain amount of money, you've paid like your deposit, and the balance of your school fees is what you have in your bank statement. And also you're expected to upload your TB test. TB test is required, tuberculosis test is required from Africans, which is mostly from Nigeria. Africans is general. Nigeria in particular, you are supposed to upload your TB test alongside with your POF. And also, the most important document there is also the IHS. So you have to pay your IHS fee and also your visa fee itself. Now we have the standard visa, which takes about 2 months for study. And then we also have the priority visa. Priority means this could take within 5 days or less. The standard visa is what takes about 2 months. And that's why the new law stating that all study visas should be submitted 2 months before the resumption date. And this is to give the embassy ample time to review your documents thoroughly and be sure that all information submitted on your document or that are found on your document are correct and they are accurate, and that there's no false or misleading documents among the ones you have submitted. If they find anyone that is not genuine in your documents, they are likely to call for interview. Although UK system generally does not really call for interview, unlike other countries like the US, you have to go for your physical interview. But for UK, 80% of the time, students are not, called for interview, except otherwise. They call randomly, like I said, maybe when they check your document and they feel they want to have a one-on-one, interview with you, they can call for you. So these are, this is the document, and this is the right process to go about your study visa. Remember, we are talking about study visa, and I made mention earlier that Team Consultancy, we do not process work visa. So we're strictly for education, foundation course, BSc, any course you want to study in the UK, as long as it's through education route. The agency, we are fully on ground here to support you through the whole process. So when you see other people celebrating when they have their visa and you are wondering how is this done, the process is what I've explained to you now when it comes to study visa itself. The first thing you need to do when you're applying for visa is to ensure that you have an admission from a school. And when you get that admission, Another thing, step you need to take is pay your tuition deposit. And if there are conditions that is required, they can tell you to update your CV. They can be asked to submit your WAEC scratch card or anything, any other documents that the school deem fit to ask from you. They can always ask you, and you are to provide it. And that is why I mentioned earlier, the first offer you get from the school is the conditional offer letter. And that's the condition there. One of the main conditions is that you are to pay your school fees. If they are pending documents, provide more documents as required. Once you meet all of these criteria on that offer, the school will definitely issue the unconditional offer letter. So the unconditional offer letter, because you met your conditions, is part of the document that will be used to file for your visa. Another thing people might want to ask is, oh, do you sponsor visa, processing? I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this session that our services does not include fully funded scholarship. So we don't sponsor anybody for scholarship. We don't render scholarship services. Our services are mainly for students who are self-funded, or if you have a direct sponsor by yourself. And these direct sponsors that are advisable most times are your very close family members, either your spouse or your father or your mother. People we know, or that the school knows, or that the embassy sees that you have, very close relationship when it comes to your surname. Of course, we have other scholarship plan. Maybe you have like a government scholarship from your community, scholarship maybe given to you, or a sponsorship from your place of work. Those ones are different, right? Of course, if you have a community scholarship waiting for you, or maybe a government scholarship, again, the first thing you need is the offer letter. So you need the offer letter, you submit it to the scholarship board that you are applying from, and then they get to see how much they're supposed to pay. They take up the responsibility of paying your tuition deposit, and the letter is sent, a receipt is sent, which will be added to your document for the visa application. So that's a separate discussion entirely. We're not talking about, other scholarship plans that is coming from, another angle entirely. We have scholarship from the scholarship board from students with very good grade, maybe first class or something like that. So you might be entitled maybe to the VC scholarship from the school you graduated from. It could be from the board, it could be from anywhere. That is separate. We know that when offer letter comes out, the board or the people responsible for that scholarship plan are the one to take up your, expenses. But you coming to us ideally expecting that we help you get a fully funded scholarship is what I'm saying. We do not render such services. So these are basically the documents and you need to put in for your visa application. And this is how the process is. It's a very smooth process, provided that your documents are complete. And part of the reason why we are here on grounds to help you through this process seamlessly with the guidance of our counselors, available to help you, is to ensure that those documents are well reviewed. These documents must be well reviewed and be sure that it meets the required standard for visa application. Again, your letter of intent is also very important. Letter of intent is talking about, some people will say SOP or your statement of purpose, your visa. Yes, it's the same thing. Letter of intent, your SOP, your, depending on what you want to, how best you can relate with it. But this is a letter that states clearly what you are going to the UK to do. Yes, it's a student visa you're applying for, but they need to see it on that letter. which is your statement of purpose. And what you intend to do after graduation, when you graduate from the school, what is your plan after graduation? So you want to see your post-graduation plans on your letter of intent. So you need to also, this letter is very important. And that is where our team step in to help you review all of these documents. And if you need a sample of that letter on how to draft your own personal statement of purpose for visa, we are here to guide you as well. We have a template that we can share with you to guide you. We don't write it for you. We only guide you on how to do it better to avoid mistakes and also avoid some, vulgar words in your letter. You don't use words that are not, relatable at all. So our team, we are here to help you. And if you need this sample, this template from us, please click on the link below this video to book a one-on-one session with my team, and our counselor will be glad to help you through the process seamlessly. So if you have any question, please drop it in the chat box and I'll be glad to respond to all questions. So we have come to the end of today's session, and see you next time again, Thursday at 11 a.m. for the next session next week. Until then, have a nice day. Bye for now.